Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Zach, and today is all about the best lord in Watcher of Realms. I'm so glad I caught that on film because no one would have believed that. So before we go into some detail on Torodor himself, let's firstly discuss this weekend's banner, which is the reason we'll be discussing Torodor today. So this weekend we have a 10 times on the Ancient banner. You can see there the special Ancient summoning, and that is giving you a 10 times chance on Torodor and a 10 times chance on Giselle. Quickly on Giselle, not heard a lot of good things about her. I'm pretty sure most people pulling on this banner aren't aiming to pull her. Some use in the arena, is a chaotic champion as well, but nothing to get massively excited about from my understanding. But equally, I don't have her, so if I'm wrong, let me know. Is this champion that I'm sleeping on a little bit? And then the main event, the Lord of Nightmares, the Undying Bull, Torodor himself. Now this is, as I said at the start of the video, probably the best Lord in my opinion in the game. He has a fantastic Lord skill, fantastic uses for his own skills. You can use him in every area, and some of the champions that are in his faction that he improves are some of the best champions in the game. So with this weekend's banner, I did have some Ancients saved up. If you want to know what terrible decisions I made with those, head over to my last summoning video. That's the Artemis video. I'll pin that up above. Jump over there and have a look if you want to know where that stash of Ancients ended up going and why they are gone. Do have 3 Ancient shards. I do already have Torodor, but I will pull those shards at the end of the video. Why not? Little cherry on top, so stick around for that. So, Torodor, Nightmare Lord. So if we just think about some of the champions that are benefiting from this Lord skill that we're going to discuss, if we jump in and look at the gallery, so if we go to the Nightmare Council, you'll see there's Torodor as the Lord. And then if we look through some of these champions, Wrath, he's the epic Lord himself, but obviously will still benefit from Torodor's Lord ability. Cannot use these simultaneously, so you can't have 2 Nightmare teams going, both benefiting from that Lord skill. But then if we look through Salazar, Hatsut, Volker, Arrogance, Abomination, Lust, you know what I mean? These are the champions that everyone is using if you have them, and the benefit that we are getting from these. Azor, OK Defender, not great. Valeria, again, another fantastic champion benefiting from the Lord skill of Torodor there. And then even down into the epics, you've got your Greeds, Vladof, Baron. Greed is one of my particular favourites from an epic category that I use in the Nightmare Council. Do also use Gluttony a little bit, not as much now that I've pulled some of the other Nightmare guys, but as a whole, a very well-rounded, very strong faction, great in every area of the game, and as such, Torodor is a great Lord to have. So, what's so good about Torodor then? Let's cover some of his skills, some of the uses for him, and yeah, just some a little bit of an overview of the hero himself. Start with the big one, the Lord skill. So increases faction allies' basic attributes by 15%. Every time a faction ally is deployed, all deployed faction allies gain 5%, 10, 20 and 35 attack speed, respectively up to 35%. However, their received healing effects are reduced by 15%. Faction allies' basic attack has a 30% chance of landing an extra hit. So let's break that down a little bit. So increases faction allies' basic attributes by 15%. Across the board, basic attributes 15% bonus for all Nightmare heroes. And additionally, every time we deploy a faction ally, their attack speed will increase from starting from 5, 5, 10, 20, and 35. So if you get 4 nightmare heroes on the board, it's a 35% increase to their attack speed. And then finally, their received healing effects are reduced by 15%, but you will find a lot of the nightmare guys, nightmare heroes, they are very survivable anyway. Think of Wrath self heals, Abomination, a little bit of self heal on him as well. So that received healing effect reduced by 15% isn't something I've ever been concerned about when using Torodor, or something that I've sort of even noticed. And then finally, Faction Ally's basic attack has a 30% chance of landing an extra hit across the board. Every Faction Ally on the board, 30% chance of landing an extra hit. That is fantastic. So he's making them hit more, and then he's increasing their attack speed, so those basic attacks are coming even faster. Couple that with the extra chance of landing an extra hit, and he is fantastic. I will say, with the deployed Faction Allies, if you are only using Torodor for the Lord skill, not actually using him to place on the board, depending how many other nightmare heroes you are using, it's worth just dropping Torodor, picking him straight back up just to get one of those points on that sliding scale for the attack speed there. From his Lord skill, we'll now go into his talent. So each attack inflicts defense reduction on the target for 5 seconds. Additionally, when Torodor is deployed or revived, increases his attack and defense by 20% for 15 seconds. So that's going to happen at least twice during any battle, usually with Torodor. So one, when you deploy him, first 15 seconds he gets the attack and defense increase. And then secondly, when he hits the self-revive, which we will discuss in a minute, that again will trigger the 20%. So they revived, as he's reviving himself, you also get that then. And additionally, the attack inflicts defense reduction, so that's defense minus 20%, takes effect only when stronger than the current buff or debuff of the same attribute. Not a debuff you see a lot of, not many stronger than that, so getting that up is fantastic, especially for places like Guild Boss. So yeah, on Guild Boss, pretty much every attack is hitting the same enemy, is hitting the Guild Boss, so that defense reduction is almost always up. And then through the rest of his skills, normal basic attack, 105% damage, that goes up to 120 when skilled up. The atrocious trample, each attack launched has a 25% chance to launch an AoE attack, dealing 90% AoE damage and inflicting the targets with stun. And then when Hellfire Burning is activated, the trigger chance increases and the attack range changes. So let's break that down again. So each attack launch has a 25% chance to launch an AoE attack. So on average, every 4 attacks, he's going to launch an AoE, dealing 90% AoE damage and inflicting the targets with stun. Stun, unable to take action, lasts 1 second. And then additionally, when Hellfire Burning is activated, trigger chance increases and the attack range changes. So that is covered in the ultimate, which is the Hellfire Burning. Hellfire Resurgence, this is the self-revive. So revives after the first death in battle, restoring, I believe this starts as, what is it, is 30 off the HP, 50 off the HP, 50% HP and 60% rage, or is it 60 of both? No, 60% HP, 60% rage, and then as you scale this up, this goes up, hitting a maximum of 100% HP and 100% rage. So as you can see, I've got that at level 4. If I get one more skill crystal into that, he will revive with 100% HP and 100% rage. So as he's reviving, he is straight into the ult. And that ult is, after activating, increases self-attack speed by 80 and damage dealt by 80%, attacks multiple enemies within the range for 20 seconds. So he's attacking even faster himself, damage increased, and he will attack multiple enemies, so it turns his attacks into an AoE. So there's a little bit of everything there, a lot of skills, but in summary, he's bringing a little bit of everything. He is a tank, he's bringing some damage, he's bringing the stun, he's got the single target, he's got the AoE damage, he's self-reviving, and also when he's self-revived, he's coming out with 100% rage, so he's straight into the ult, and then with that ult, he's making himself even faster. All that on top of the defense reduction and the fantastic Lord skill. You can see why Torodor is considered one of the best heroes in the game, and certainly, in my opinion, the best Lord. Also from one of the strongest factions. So the champions, as I said earlier, the champions that he is making better through his Lord skill are some of the best champions in the game anyway. Let's jump into his awakenings. So on the A1, range plus 20% on the atrocious trample. A2, faction allies attack speed plus 20, so that's an enhancement to the Lord skill. Awakening 3 enhances both of his other skills, the passive skills. Extra rage regen auto on the 4, and finally on the 5, Hellfire Resurgence can be triggered one more time per deployment. So then that is the self revive, you can get that twice per deployment instead of once. So as I said, I'm lucky enough to have Torodor myself. I use him absolutely everywhere. I think pretty much, I don't think there is, like I said, an area of the game where I'm not using him. If we look at my guild boss team, always Nightmare team there, using him with Lust. Obviously the benefit of all that attack speed on top for Lust. Use him in guild versus guild, use him in Void Rift, absolutely everywhere. Torodor is viable and usable. In terms of builds, he is a tank, so build him like a tank, or alternatively take him naked. If you're just going to be using him for the Lord skill, as a lot of people do, just throw him in your team, no gear on him. But like I said, it can be useful to throw him down and pick him up just to get that extra hit on the attack speed increase from the Lord skill. Also, you can, if you want to, which I may have done, throw him in some attack gear. So you're not going to get a lot out of him, but for my guild boss team, I like to throw him in some crit damage, get his crit caps, and throw on some attack bonus, because he's going to be down anyway. If he's going to be down anyway, he's got the healer there, so we're not really relying a lot on his self-revive or him to tank or his own survivability. So just pull all the damage that I can from him for the guild boss. So that is pretty much it for Torodor. I would definitely recommend pulling on this weekend's banner. If you are lucky enough to get your hands on him, let me know. As promised, I will summon my 3 ancient summons, see what we get. Not holding my breath for a legendary or a Torodor, but strange things have happened. Any PSA Lord would be fantastic as well, and that's the only faction I'm really missing a Lord for. So yeah, we'll churn through these 3 nice and quick, see what we get. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. First pull. My luck recently has been ridiculous. Now, Admiral Claw, legendary, chaotic, nightmare. I'm not going to go into detail on Admiral Claw on this video. I'm a little bit surprised there myself. Was not expecting to pull a legendary today at all. Yeah, a little bit lost for words, but hey guys, nice way to end the video, and we still have 2 more to summon. Let's see if we can go back to back. Raiden, new for me, Esotericist Lord. And final pull for today. Nero, pulled him literally about 400 times. No real use for him. He will get sold off into diamonds. So there we go, there's your Torodor guide. Legendary pull from the Ancient Shards. Still can't believe we pulled a legendary there off 3 Ancients. I'm so glad I caught that on film because no one would have believed that. Let me know if you'd like a guide in Admiral Claw. Let me know if you've got him. Let me know where I should be using him. And yeah, I don't know what to say. My luck recently has been ridiculous. I'll see you in the next one.